happy you're gonna hear me, Michael.
Oh, thank you so much for coming out. I love you too. Okay, thanks for coming out in the rain and all that stuff, you know. What brought us out this week was Internet Week. That's why a bunch of us are out here smoshing what the buck, right? Or on this side here. Hey guys! I mean, our YouTube family is not complete, but a bunch of us are out here. Thank you guys for coming too. And it's just exciting to be here, you know. You gotta love the internet, right? I mean, none of us would be here. We wouldn't have this connection with you guys if it wasn't for the internet, right? I mean, look at all these cameras. It's gonna be on the internet later. I better watch what I say. No? Yeah, but I mean, we just, you know, it's like, it's really unreal when you're in your room alone and you turn the camera on and you're like, and nobody's laughing. There are no, you know, nobody's flashing at you or anything. So, you know, it's unreal to take that scenario and then all of a sudden bring it to this. And you guys who have been watching us, straight from my home to your home, and now you're here. That's unreal. Just for those of you that are here, maybe you just wandered off the street, you're like, what in the world is a Happyslip? Why in the world is she called Happyslip? Give you a little, you know, let you know what that means. Happyslip, I mean, lots of us have accounts on the internet, and so we want to come up with a good screen name. And I found that was a little tough. I was like, what am I going to name myself? What's going to be memorable? What's going to be good? What's going to be funny? What's going to be reflective of what I do? You know? And then I thought, well, I want it to be a funny memory. And my mom, growing up, would always say, oh, be sure to wear your Happyslip, your Happyslip. And that, what she was trying to say is wear your half slip, because she didn't want anyone to see through any skirts or dresses or anything, so she's, you know, your Happyslip, make sure. So she's trying to say half slip, but it comes out as Happyslip, okay? So, but I grew up thinking in my head that it was spelled Happyslip. That's normal to me. So, you know, I go to school, and one day I forgot to wear my Happyslip, and I went, I said, oh my gosh, I forgot to wear my Happyslip. And then my classmates were like, what, you got a sad slip too? Or what's that about? And I thought, what are they talking about? It's a Happyslip. But anyway, I thought that's a funny memory, and the dual purpose behind that name is I want people to slip into happiness when they... My goodness. Okay, so a lot of people, one of the frequently asked questions is, well, what do your parents and your family think about you imitating them all the time? And the thing is, when I thought, what? I'm sorry. When I think more about the, you know, origins of Happyslip, it probably really started as stand-up, because it was sort of like imitation on demand, you know, oh, come on, everybody's bored. It'll be those holiday parties and, you know, everyone's eating their potluck, they're full, they're sitting back. Okay, we need some entertainment here. Where's the kids? Bring up the kids. Where's the kids? Play some piano, do something. But after a while, you know, people are so bored, so my mom's like, please, can you imitate me? Can you mimic me? And then, you know, so it's normal. I've actually been doing this, if you think about it, for a long time, and the videos is just another way of expressing this sort of strange thing, right? We thought you were slow. We thought you were retarded. Because you don't talk. You hardly talk. You just... And you're just quiet, observing everyone. Observing. Little did we know you're observing them to mimic them later. Well, I guess that's true, because I have memories as early as 8 years old, and whenever they would have show and tell, I'd always be like, hey, there, yeah, I wanna go. And I wouldn't have anything to show, but I'd always have something to tell, you know? Like, okay, Christine, another one of your stories, okay. And I'd never have anything to show. So anyway, you know, the observing thing, right? In New York City, don't you love New York City? There's so much to observe here. This is the greatest city in the world. So many different cultures, ethnicities, so many different types of people. There's lots to observe here, right? Filipino! New Yorkers always have this look on their face, like... Right, so if they're walking on the street, they always got the New York face. And if they're on the subway, they got the New York face. Right? And nothing phases them. But the tourists, the tourists because they're really dressed up, they've got the really high heels, they're thin high heels that get stuck in any crack in the street, right? You're like, oh yeah, they're tourists, right? And they're always like, right? And I love to observe that. One of my favorite stories is I was on one of those shuttle buses from JFK. I was visiting some family and I was coming back in the city, so I was taking the $10 shuttle bus, And so I'm on this, and then here you got this real New Yorker driver. So cool. And he's just, he's doing this regular thing. And this bus is full of people that are real New Yorkers and then people that are tourists, right? So he's doing his thing and he's like, when you got on this bus, you told me whether you wanted to get off at Grand Central or Penn Station. Now, if you want to change your mind, if you said Penn Station, now you want to get off at Grand Central, you can forget about it. You could ask me 3 times, I'll tell you no. 3 times. And then, the tourists are like, oh my gosh, no. And then the New Yorkers again are like this. And then he decided to give a bit of warning to them. He said, do not allow anyone to escort you or your luggage to a cab. If you do, guaranteed, you will not see it ever. Welcome to New York. And he turns the wheel really fast and everyone's like, oh my gosh, oh, New York. Right? And then again, the New Yorkers. They're not fazed at all. But I kind of get in trouble for making that generalization. Also, because I was on the subway one time and a swarm of teenagers came on to the subway and they were like, and then they don't hold on to anything. They think, and then when the first stop comes on the subway, right, and it halts to a stop, and they're like, like that, right? And then I was sitting there like this, regular New Yorker, and I was like, and I looked at the guy next to me and I was like, tourist. And then he goes, yeah, I'm with them though. I said, tell me the story of Zaccheus. Okay, Zaccheus, he was a showman and stuff. And anyway, he couldn't see Jesus. So he had went up in a tree. And Jesus had went up to him. And he had said to him, yo, Zaccheus, you come down. Well, I'm going to your house today. And there was this awkward silence as all the other kids looked at her and they were just like... And then I just said, Jesus said yo? And she was like, So I love that. But people know me most for me imitating my family, of course. And at the same time, when I was first posting videos, I thought, well, who's going to be able to relate to this? I don't know. Filipinos might hate me. I don't know, But like I said, it was normal for my family. Everybody, but I get all these different ethnicities and people writing me and saying, I'm not Filipino, but I have an auntie just like that. And I have a cousin just like that, right? So who has an auntie that's kind of the judgmental type that's like, did you gain weight? Did you lose weight? What is that on your face? What is that thing there, huh?
That's my nose.
Oh, it's a seat, huh? Pimple? You keep touching that pimple. It might erupt, like a volcano. That might erupt. Look at Minnie's skin. Minnie, it's so clear. She's using that Brown Beauty product. Okay, a longer show for me, so we'll probably take that on tour. But anyway, thank you for coming out again. And I really enjoy you guys so much. So.